Welcome back to Infuse Moods. I am your host, Imani, and I'm joined today with my special guest, Kayla. And we have a wonderful topic on career pivots. But before we get into that, you already know why you're here to hear what we're drinking and what we're listening to. I am drinking on a awake English breakfast with a splash of vanilla silk. It's really nice. Gives me like a chai latte type of feel. And the song I'm going to infuse with is You the Boss by Rick Ross because it's career pivot, so you the boss. What do you have, Kayla?
I have a nice cold glass of water today, this morning, because that's how I start my day off, with a cup of water.
And what are you vibing to lately?
Neon Guts by Pharrell and Lil Uzi Vert.
Yes, Lil Uzi. I can't wait for them to hear that. And per usual, you all will be able to listen to all these songs in the playlist on Spotify if you're ever curious of what it sounds like. So now let's get into it. Career pivots are something that have been happening since the pandemic hit. And I was reading an article on Monster and they interviewed Jenny Blake. Since the pandemic, 50% of the workforce packed up and made an unintentional career pivot because layoffs, industry shutdowns, and more. And then while 20% of Americans who didn't need to leave the workforce because of job security, they decided to take that career pivot. And of that whole population, 61% have been women. And this has coined the phrase pandemic pivoters. So what is a career pivot, you may ask? Jenny Blake kind of defines that as doubling down on what is working to make a purposeful shift in a new related direction. Pivoting in this sense is an intentional process for nimbly navigating career changes. So again, Kayla, thank you for joining me today. I'm so excited. I've been waiting to have you on. This is so cute to me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Anytime, girl. Thank you. And I wanted to ask, so what was your major in undergrad? Just so we can get the story of how you got to where you are today.
So I have my Bachelor of Science in Psychology from Georgia Southern, as well as a minor in Human Development.
Nice. And is that something that you saw yourself in undergrad doing from the beginning of your college career, or did you kind of shift along the way?
I actually shifted. So I originally went to school for nursing, and I don't know what happened. I had a dream, and this is like right when I just had gotten saved too. So like I had a dream about me not being a nurse and going into psychology. And then I just had like all these signs around. Like one of my psychology teachers was like really focused on me and like helping me to develop. And I was like, I don't think I want to do psychology. What in the world? Because I saw my mom did it. She was a therapist within the prison system for about 10 years. So I got to see her do it. I was just like, I don't think I really want to do that, but let me be obedient, I guess. So I prayed about it and I changed my major my second semester of my freshman year. So to psych. And then it's been uphill and kind of downhill from there too. Just like a roller coaster with the ebb and flows of the industry of psychology in the first place.
Nice. So talk to me a little bit about the ebbs and flows of the industry. What has that been like?
So I think because I started doing actual clinical work during the pandemic, so I graduated with my master's from AU in 2019 in December, and then I got a job literally like a month later, and I started January 20th. And so, we had about 3 same months of, seeing people going with the flow, and then boom, all of a sudden we hit a pandemic, and that's the only thing that I know, that's the only counseling and clinical work that I know, which is in working within a pandemic. So it's been difficult because not only is there a higher demand for us, but there's not enough counselors in the first place, and there aren't enough resources, like financial resources. They're not trying to pay us to work with 70 people right? Like, so we're getting these huge caseloads and all these people want help, and no one's trying to pay you adequate pay for the stress that you take on from listening to people 8 to 9 hours a day. And so our salaries even got taken away during the pandemic too. Like, yeah. Wow. So we learned about that. The pandemic hit in March. We had a meeting like 2 weeks later, and they were like, we can't sustain you guys with a salary anymore. So like, we've been working on pay per service for the entire time, basically, of our career. Well, at least, and I say I'm thinking like me and my classmate, me and my cohort member, we started our jobs together too. So we graduated together and we started together. But yeah, I haven't had a salary since the pandemic, which was only about 2 months, 2 or 3 months. Yeah.
Wow, I'm really sitting over here like, wait, because we've kind of been in this little this little world flip for what, 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, especially because you're almost like a civil servant in a sense. You're doing the community work for right. people in so many walks of life, and for you to not have a salary,
right? It's hard work for sure. And at first, like, to go with the ebbs flow was, my positive reframe was, okay, this will teach you how to eventually have a private practice. Right. Because that was my goal, was to like go into private practice, have my own facility, and then become a clinical director, so that, you know, I can teach people and do like consulting and supervision. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, like, something has just recently changed within me, and I'm just like, I don't even want to do this work anymore. It's great. Yeah. It's great work. It's beautiful seeing kids grow and develop and learn new things about themselves, and it's beautiful working with families. But I think I'm just at a point where I'm like, it's just not cutting it for me anymore. It's not giving what it's supposed to have gave. Right. I don't know.
It's not giving.
It's not giving. It's not, it's just a lot right now, but I'm trying to stay positive, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do as far as this career pivot. And yeah, it's just a lot of just like question marks everywhere. That's how my brain is, like, yeah. Question mark, where am I gonna go? What I'm gonna do? What do I want to go into? What else am I good at? Because I love counseling. I really do. And I've dedicated like my life to this. Like, when I made my career change my freshman year, I was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. But now I'm like, oh, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Right. They don't tell you about that when you're trying to come through and figure out what exactly you want to do. And sometimes I feel like that pressure is placed on us too early, because, you know, we're young, we're just out of high school, we're like, okay, this is the real world now, and now I have to decide what my end game is, and I don't even know what that looks like. So, you know, I'm right there with you, and I'm so happy that you said that and that you're going through this, because I definitely believe that when you talk about it with other people and share your experiences, others can learn and grow, and then that can help you in turn learn and grow. So I think it's beautiful, and it's honest. It's very honest. So essentially all of that brought you to this point of wanting to make this career pivot, right?
Yes. So I started thinking about changing my career about maybe about August of last year. I'm a community counselor, and I go with my agency. What we do is about 70% of my clients are in school mental health service, like based. Mm-hmm. So what I do is I go into the schools and I see a variety of children from elementary school to high school. Now, the other portion of my clients are just like core clients, so more of like community mental health, people who just need services for mood disorders, anxiety, and trauma work. So that's my specialties, if you want to say. Those are my 3 specialties. So that's what I do.